Hi, everybody. I'm Jim Stavridis, the Dean of the Fletcher School of Law and Diplomacy, and these are ski goggles. I am holding ski goggles in high admiration for the 375 Fletcher School students who went on the ski weekend to Maine recently. And so that's just a little backdrop to what's going on around here. The weather is icy cold. We're in the middle of the polar vortex, and so I thought I'd think about a different part of the world where they very seldom have snow and never have polar vortexes, and that is sub-Saharan Africa. So I've asked one of our absolutely terrific faculty members, Assistant Professor Jenny Aker, to come and just talk a little bit about her work in sub-Saharan Africa. Jenny, just tick off a few of the countries you've been to and worked in that part of the world.
So I've been to about 15 different countries in West, Central, and East Africa. Niger, Rwanda, South Africa, you name it, I've had the opportunity to visit and work in those countries, which has been a pretty amazing experience.
What was the most dangerous place you've been?
I think some of the difficult places where I've been were Liberia and Sierra Leone during the war of the late 1990s, which was difficult for everyone, especially those populations, and more recently, Eastern Congo, which is still undergoing a lot of crisis.
Now, when you go to sub-Saharan Africa, what kind of work are you doing? And in particular, I want to hear about how you use cell phones.
So a lot of the work that we're really doing is working with non-governmental organizations to help understand what types of interventions work in terms of reducing poverty. And as you mentioned, a lot of this is dealing with cell phones, not the fancy iPhones that we have here, but these simple cell phones that we find in a lot of these markets with populations. And I think one of the most interesting things we're doing right now is building upon some pilot work we did in Niger. It was a mobile phone-based adult education program.
Wow.
And so that was really neat because what people learned how to do was to use a simple mobile phone that allowed them to read and write at a higher level.
Perfect.
These effects persisted over time, and what we found is that they were earning about $10 more a year.
Wow.
Now we're building upon the results of that program with Catholic Relief Services to expand it into 500 villages.
Nice.
And our question is to see whether or not those previous effects are similar at scale, which is really important for the Nigerian government if they decide that they would like to adopt this program.
Wow.
Similarly, we're working with CRS to see if we can use mobile phones as a way of sharing information about agriculture, health, nutrition, and prices, which is really important.
You know, Jenny, when I was the NATO commander in Afghanistan, we used cell phones to pay the Afghan security forces because it also reduced corruption. So it would be a means to take the middleman where a lot of the skimming occurs out. So another use of cell phone technology in these societies. Now, do you hire students or bring Fletcher students into this?
I almost always do. So since I arrived here in 2009, every single year and every single summer, I've had between 1 and 3 students working for me.
Nice.
In Ghana, Niger, Rwanda, Mozambique, and they've been really great. They've not only made a great contribution to these projects, but also I think they've learned a lot in the process and learned a lot about the way that development and research works.
Fabulous. I know that as you continue to move your work forward, you'll be on this cusp of private-public cooperation, which I think is a key ingredient in international relations going forward. Well, folks, just a quick sample from a terrific faculty member here at the Fletcher School. I like to talk about how we employ students because we also have a big event coming up in Washington. For all of our alums who are in D.C., I hope I'll see you on the 20th of February, where we're going to have a chance for our students to come down and network with you so that they can get jobs, build the alumni, support the kind of work that Jenny Aker and her folks are doing here on the faculty at the Fletcher School, and continue the sense of community that makes Fletcher so special to us all. Jenny, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
All the best.